words they use on us. I can't go into a lot of detail, but this is an introduction. Take the word silent, the anagram for silent. Take every letter and rearrange them as they are, and you get listen. When a cop pulls you over, give me your license. He or she is saying, give me your silence. They are presuming, and they want you to be silent while they do their job. When you go in front of the judge, how do you plead? How do you plead? Phoenician. The P comes from the PH. How do you flee? How do you flee? Also, how do you bleed? Guilty or not guilty? Are you guile? Guile tav. Tav is the Hebrew last letter, and tav is the only letter that doesn't have a tangible object associated with it, because it marks importance. It marks pay attention. It marks, if anything, it marks a sign from God, basically. So are you guile in the name of God? And not guilty is admitting the jurisdiction, is actually playing along, is admitting the jurisdiction. Instead of saying, no, I'm not in the game of admitting one or the other, I am innocent. When you swear on the Bible, it doesn't just mean curse the Bible. It also means, are you serpent wearing on the Bible? Because the S and the Z are both serpentine letters with serpentine sounds. The S is a soft hiss before it strikes. Soft because it does not use the larynx. The Z is a strong hiss of the windy season. And from your mouth, it is strong because it does use the larynx. The S is a soft hiss. Put your finger to your throat and do the S. The larynx is open and it allows the air to come through. The Z, now do the Z, uses the larynx. Okay, politics. You have republic, you have democracy. Republic is republic, to put in the public domain again. In fact, let me show you something. Brilliant maps. The map above shows the systems of government. Blue, presidential republic. Yellow, semi-presidential republic. Green, republic. This here, this green. Because this here is countries with constitutional provisions have been suspended. Military juntas. This green. So we have blue, yellow, and this green, and this green. And this green, right here. Switzerland. So these are republics. Which countries are really republics? 159 of the world's sovereign states use the word republic in their official names. 159. For example, the proper name of the country we usually call South Korea is actually Republic of Korea. However, compiling a list of which countries truly operate as republics is no easy feat. This is partly due to the generously broad modern definition of a republic, and partly due to the fact that the term is occasionally incorporated into the titles of countries that have arguably distorted its definition. One well-known example of this is North Korea, whose official name is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, despite the fact that the country is widely considered to be a military dictatorship and a totalitarian regime rather than a republic. At the same time, many of the world's most prominent true republics, such as United States, Germany, Japan, and the United Kingdom, do not include the word republic in their names at all. Russia is theoretically a republic because its government is composed largely of elected representatives. However, significant evidence exists that the elections are heavily controlled and influenced. Other governments, such as Cuba and China, have gone one step further and established a one-party system in which all political parties other than the ruling party are illegal. If elections are held, they feature only specific candidates, often only one per position, handpicked by the existing government. The ruling officials are indeed voted in by the people, but the people have no choice in the matter, which arguably subverts the concept of a republic and usurps the power from the people. So they say they are republics. But what does that mean? Republic means to put in the public domain again. What are they putting in the public domain again? Let's look up etymology of public. Public. Open to general observation. From Old French, public, and directly from Latin publicus, of the people, of the state, done for the state. Also, common, general, of or belonging to the people at large. Ordinary, vulgar. The people, to the people at large. To the ordinary, to the vulgar. As a noun, a commonwealth, public property. This Latin word was altered from Old Latin publicus, probably by influence of Latin pubis, adult population, adult. How is public used? Public relations, the management of the relationship between the company or corporation and the general public. Public office, position held by a public official. Public service, the common well-being. Public enemy, one considered a nuisance to the general community. Public sector, public funds. Now, public can be seen in a couple ways. Public office, for instance, could be the office for the public, or in the public jurisdiction, an office. Public service, service of the public, or in the public sector, service. Public interest, interest for the public, or in the public jurisdiction, interest. Public well-being, the management of the public interest. Public enemy, public sector. Does public sector mean a sector that is open to the public? Or does it mean in the public jurisdiction a sector that is under the handling of the public funds or public administration? Two very distinct ways of looking at public. Then you have democracy, which is democracy. Break it apart, it's democracy, which is negate democracy. M is mem in Hebrew, means water. So democracy is water crazy. Ebb and flow. Outside influences. Democracy means negate the water crazy. So what they do is they make something crazy in order to stop making it crazy, which is the Hegelian dialect. And the Hegelian dialect involves water. And if water means people, then they make people crazy in order to stop making them crazy. Democracy. A government by the people, system of government in which the sovereign power is vested in the people as a whole, exercising power directly or by elected officials, or otherwise a state so governed. From Greek, demokratia, popular government. From demos, common people. Originally district. District, kratos. Demo is district, demotic. Demotic, of or belonging to the people. Of or belonging to the people. Pertaining to the common people, the popular, the vulgar. So this is a people versus public issue. Republic versus democracy. Do you want a public state versus people's state? Public crazy versus people crazy. Remember, all this happens under the sign of Gemini, which is Gemini duality. And in the Hebrew month of duality, which they call Sivan, they have the concept of incorporating duality in order to form a third perspective above the two-ness, threeness above the duality of duo. And you can look that up here on this video, Secrets of the Month of Sivan, Living in Duality by Rabbi Lapin Matmonim. Very enlightening on the month of Sivan, which is Gemini, Hebrew perspective, which is also when June 11th happened in the month of Sivan. And I'm saying this only because the Hebrew months offer a different perspective on the months, so that we can be given a second perspective in order to see the greater third perspective of both in union. He can explain it in a lot more, for a lot more corroboration, to get a second opinion, not just mine. Now, here's what I'm going to show you. Now, from some added perspective, here we have Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition, published in 1910. Originally, people was a state, as the people of the state of New York, a nation in its collective and political capacity. A nation in its collective and political capacity. People is democracy, is the demos, is the union, then the collective, the political capacity. It is not sovereign. You are at the whim of the collective, at the state. Public, pertaining to a state, nation, or whole community, proceeding from, relating to, or affecting the whole body of people or an entire community, open to all, notorious, which means they are able to be notified, or they are the notified. Public also pertains, public is the same thing as the state, nation, or whole community, but it pertains to it. It pertains to it. It's associated with it. It is not defining it. It is associated with it. Public is something that came from the outside. It is a term that is used from the outside because it pertains. It doesn't mean inherent.